My parents sued me over my new house. They claimed it should be for my sister. They argued in court. I defended myself without a lawyer. When the judge heard their plan, their case crumbled. I'm 29 years old, and last month I bought my first house after saving for 8 years. And yes, my own parents sued me for it. You read that right. I'm still trying to process it because this is all crazy. Let me give you some context. First, I'm the oldest of two. I started working at 16, supermarket, pizza delivery, anything I could get. At 18, I became financially independent. That's when I bought my first car, a '98 Honda Civic with 200,000 kilometers for €800, money I'd saved working. I went to a technical training center in Alicante while working full-time. After that, I did intensive programming courses and got certifications in information technology. I've been working in cybersecurity for 8 years. My sister, Natalia, 26, is the golden child. Private university, master's in art history, studied in Italy for 2 semesters. My parents paid for everything: tuition, accommodation, spending money, spring break trips. They even bought her a car for her sweet 16. I've been saving diligently since I got my first real job. No expensive vacations, no designer clothes. I lived with roommates until last year. Finally, last month, I bought my house. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a nice backyard. It cost me €385,000. I put down a 20% deposit, which was €77,000 of my savings. I got a decent mortgage. 2 days after signing, I got this message from my dad: "We need to talk about the house issue. Call me as soon as you can." I thought maybe they wanted to come visit. How wrong I was. My dad started, "Look, son, we've been talking as a family, and we think the right thing is for Natalia to have the house." "What are you talking about?" I replied, "She's burdened with student loans. She can't afford rent in Barcelona. You're fine. You can easily buy another house." I laughed, thinking it was a joke. It wasn't. My mom took the phone. "We raised you. We supported you. Now it's time to give back to the family. Your sister needs stability." "I spent 8 years saving for this house," I said. "Family helps family. Don't be selfish." From there, the conversation only got worse. I hung up when my dad started yelling about moral obligations. A week later, I received a court summons. My own parents were suing me for my house. Their lawsuit claimed I owed them for raising me. They calculated €300,000 in upbringing costs. They said Natalia needed the house more because of her debts, that I could easily buy another, that they had an emotional investment in my success, that as parents they had the right to redistribute family assets. The most delusional part? They wanted the house title transferred to Natalia, and for me to continue paying the mortgage for at least 2 years until she could support herself. Update 1. 3 weeks later. This has gotten completely out of control. Thanks to everyone for the support. I've read every comment, and honestly, it's what's helping me stay sane in the middle of this nightmare. Since my last post, this is what happened. I decided to represent myself. I know many will say that was crazy, but hiring a lawyer would have cost me at least €10,000, and this case is so absurd that I thought I could handle it. I've always been good at researching and organizing paperwork, and I discovered some interesting things. My Aunt Carmen, my dad's sister, is financing the lawsuit. She's always hated me because I didn't invite her to my technical school graduation. Except I didn't even attend. It didn't make sense for a mid-level degree. Since then, she's been telling the whole family that I'm ungrateful and think I'm superior because I work in technology. It all started because I didn't invite her to my technical school graduation. The truth is, I didn't even attend. I didn't see the point in a ceremony for a mid-level degree. Since then, my Aunt Carmen has been telling the whole family that I'm ungrateful and think I'm better than everyone else just because I work in technology. Natalia started posting on social media about her house. She even uploaded old photos taken from Pinterest with the caption, "Can't wait to turn this house into a home." Thanks mom and dad for fighting for what's right. Hashtag Natalia, hashtag family first. My parents tried to convince my grandparents to take their side, but the joke was on them. My grandfather Antonio literally told them to drop the matter. My grandmother Maria was nicer, but still told them they were being ridiculous. The first hearing was scheduled for 2 months out. The courts were swamped. I started preparing like crazy: bank statements, mortgage documents, proof of down payment, employment contracts, everything. Their lawyer, a guy who was clearly an ambulance chaser Carmen found, contacted me to discuss a settlement. And what did they want? Full transfer of ownership to Natalia, continue paying the mortgage for 24 months, 3,100,000 euros for emotional damages, and a letter of apology for dividing the family. I couldn't help it. I laughed so hard I snorted and hung up. The family drama only got worse. My mother Teresa posted on social media platform, "Some children forget where they come from. We gave Sergio all our love, our support, our values, and this is how he repays us. His sister Natalia has student loans and no stable housing. A good son would help his family. Hashtag disappointed mother, hashtag family values." Carmen commented, "What shameful behavior. Your sister needs that house more than you. You need to give it to her, out of pride." Then came the inevitable. I was uninvited from Thanksgiving dinner. My mother sent a text message to the whole family. Due to recent events and Sergio's decision to jeopardize his sister's future, he is not welcome at family gatherings until he does the right thing. You know what? I ordered Chinese food and watched football at my house. Update 2. Court day. 2 months later. It was the trial. I just got home. You won't believe the spectacle. I arrived early, dressed professionally, with a folder full of documents. My parents arrived with Natalia, Carmen, and no joke, they were all wearing matching t-shirts with large letters that said "Family First." The drama started before the session even opened. Natalia lunged at me, trying to hug me while saying loudly, "I forgive you for making us do this." I stepped aside. She stumbled on her own. Carmen started whispering "ungrateful" under her breath. Judge Morales called for order and asked for opening statements. Their lawyer, with a face already full of shame, "My clients have invested their lives, love, and substantial resources in raising the defendant. His sister faces significant student debt and lack of stable housing. The defendant has sufficient means to easily purchase another property. This case is about fundamental family values and supporting those who need it. My turn, Your Honor. I bought that house with my own money, saved over 8 years. I am the sole signatory on the mortgage. That's all." The judge seemed intrigued. He asked their lawyer to present their case. They presented photo albums of family vacations from when I was a kid, statements of Natalia's student loans totaling 180,000 euros for her art history degree, a spreadsheet with the alleged expenses my parents claimed to have made in raising me, including a burger, fast food chain, kids meal for 12 euros and 99 cents from 2003, and even text messages from me where I said, "I love you." According to them, this proved emotional investment. They also presented screenshots of my profile on professional networking site, where it was publicly stated that I work in cybersecurity. They even included a business plan by Natalia to turn the house into an artistic retreat. When my turn came, I showed bank statements proving all the money came from my savings, mortgage documents solely in my name, records that I paid for my studies at the Alicante Technical Center, proof that I have been financially independent since 18, emails where I asked for help to buy books for university, and they replied, "We are now focused on Natalia's education." And then came the key moment. "Mr. Judge, this is Natalia. What is your current occupation?" "I'm in a period of transition, focusing on my artistic growth." "Are you employed?" My mother interrupted. She is an artist, a digital content creator. "Do you have an income?" My father replied, "Income is not the measure of a person's worth." My Aunt Carmen yelled from the bench, "She deserves that house more than him." The judge immediately warned her about her courtroom behavior. Then he addressed Natalia. "What kind of digital content do you create?" She said proudly, "I'm a TikTok dancer and lifestyle influencer." "And what income does that generate?" "I'm building my brand. These things take time." The judge didn't seem impressed. "Let me understand this," he said. "You want your son, who has worked and saved for years, to hand over his house to your daughter, who has no job, no income, and no intention of having any, and on top of that, to continue paying the mortgage for her?" Their lawyer tried to speak. "If I may, Your Honor." The judge interrupted him. "I've heard enough. I will issue my decision in writing within the week." 5 days later, the letter from the court arrived. Case dismissed. The judge's exact words, "This case completely lacks legal basis." But the truly outrageous thing happened outside the courthouse. My Aunt Carmen lost control. She screamed that to them I no longer counted as part of the family, that I was going to die alone in that house. Natalia fell to her knees on the courthouse steps, sobbing, "You stole my future." My mother told me that I was no longer her son. My father assured me that I had destroyed the family. When I got home, I checked the security cameras I had installed right after receiving the summons, and yes, they captured movement. One recording showed Natalia approaching my car, looking nervously around, and then walking away without doing anything. Another showed Carmen walking up my driveway with a spray can in her hand, but she turned around when the motion-activated spotlights came on. I went directly to the police station and filed a complaint with the video. That night, chaos erupted on social media. Natalia started a campaign on crowdfunding platform, "Help me buy a house after my brother stole my future." The description said that I had manipulated the judicial system and betrayed family values. It was reported multiple times and was put under review for false information. My mother posted in various local groups on social media platform accusing me of treason. Several administrators removed her posts for harassment. Carmen posted vague threats, but deleted them when people started confronting her. I documented everything and requested a restraining order, even though the legal process takes time. And then the family group chat exploded. My cousin Raul, who never could stand Natalia, replied to my mother's weepy message, "Weren't you the ones who paid the 200,000 euros for Natalia's education while Sergio worked nights to pay for technical school? And now you also want his house." That triggered a family debate. Many relatives were fed up with my parents' favoritism, but they had never dared to say it. My uncle Javier added, "Remember when Sergio asked for 200 euros for books and you bought Natalia a MacBook instead?" Another cousin commented, "Wasn't Natalia's graduation party 15,000 euros? While Sergio didn't even have a dinner." And finally, my grandfather Antonio, in a firm voice, wrote, "You are a disgrace as parents. Sergio succeeded despite you, not thanks to you." Update 4. The resolution. 3 months after the trial. My original plan was to leave everything behind, but after the attempted vandalism, I decided to take legal action. I filed another complaint at the police station with the security camera recordings. The investigation is still ongoing. The restraining order against Carmen was temporarily approved. I sent formal cease and desist letters. I also reported the fraudulent crowdfunding campaign and documented everything in case a civil lawsuit was necessary. And consequences started to show. Carmen received a formal warning at her job for harassing me through corporate email. Natalia's crowdfunding campaign was deleted. My parents started getting awkward looks at church. People talked. Small town, news travels fast. The family dynamic changed. Half the family sided with me, a quarter preferred to remain neutral, and the other quarter still believes I should have given the house to Natalia. Final update. 6 months after the trial. Life is different now. My parents no longer speak to me. It was a mutual decision. The restraining order against Carmen became permanent after she violated the provisional one. Natalia got a job at the coffee shop and hasn't stopped complaining on Instagram. As for me, I got promoted at work. I upgraded the security system at the house. And I'm fine. I adopted a dog from a shelter. Her name is Luna. She's a German Shepherd mix. I've started hosting game nights with friends. Having people at home who don't judge my every move is a relief. My mother texts me from time to time asking for money because they're tight financially. I don't reply. My father sent a single email. When are you going to forgive us? Family should stay together. I didn't reply to him either. The best news, my grandfather Antonio comes to dinner every Sunday. He's teaching me carpentry in the garage. Turns out he'd always wanted to spend time with me, but my parents always found an excuse to prevent it. Last week he told me, "I'm proud of you, son. You defended what's yours." And for everyone who asks me, yes, my parents really thought that suing their adult son for his own house was going to work. Yes, Natalia really believed she deserved that house because she suffered in college while I had it easy working. And yes, they still tell anyone who will listen that I was the one who broke the family. Some people just shouldn't be parents. Thanks for following this burning family soap opera. Now I'm going to enjoy my house, my dog, and my peace of mind. Remember this, friends, the best response is to live in peace and know how to set boundaries. Edit 1. No, I will not say where Natalia works. Stop asking. Edit 2. The vandalism case is still open. Justice is slow. Edit 3. Antonio doesn't have social media platform, but sends thanks for the support. He's 84 and says he's too old for those internet things. I've read your comments, all of those who encouraged me, those who judged me, and especially those that hurt more than I would like to admit. I've spent days thinking about the words of strangers on the internet who, without knowing it, touched points that haven't yet healed, and I feel like I have to respond, not to justify myself, but to vent. You are ungrateful. Your parents gave you life. She just wanted a chance. How sad that you chose a house over your family. Do you really think all this was about a house? The house was just the last straw. What hurt wasn't that they wanted it. It was that they took it for granted, that they told me, with complete naturalness, that I should hand over what I built with effort, as if my work was worth less than my sister's tears. I've been hearing all my life that she needs it more than you. You can handle it. She doesn't know how to get by, but you do. And there comes a time when you stop being the son and become the backup plan. I had to show bank statements to prove the house was mine. We had to sit in front of a judge as if I were the thief of something I legally bought. My sister knelt in front of the cameras crying that I stole her future. And still, some of you say that I'm exaggerating, that I should have done the right thing. The right thing for whom? I spent years sharing an apartment while she had a paid-for apartment. I worked at night and studied during the day. I asked for help for books and they told me, now we're focused on Natalia. The first time I did something for myself, they called me selfish. And when I defended myself, they declared me the enemy. Do you want to know what that feels like? It feels like being taken out of the family photo without warning. Like waking up one day and discovering that everything you gave was worthless because you didn't fit the script they wanted to write about you. My parents didn't just sue me, they emotionally disinherited me. They told me I was no longer their son. They looked at me like a traitor for not obeying. But if this has taught me anything, it's this. Loyalty is not built with submission. Family is not a contract where you sign what you must give and keep quiet about what you need. And love without respect is not love, it is emotional debt. Now I have a house that represents more than just bricks. It's the first place where I feel at peace, where I don't have to justify my decisions, where I can invite people who love me for who I am and not for what I can pay for. I adopted a dog. Her name is Luna. She doesn't ask me for anything, she just keeps me company, and that is sometimes more family than everything I've ever known. And yes, there are still days when I wake up with guilt because it still hurts to have lost something that wasn't even real. I still sometimes wait for my mother to send a message that says, "I'm sorry we were wrong." But that hasn't happened, and it may never happen.